Welcome to The Chatter, your end of the week ear candy for what to eat, drink, see, and do in Richmond, Virginia, right damn now.
The Richmond experience is independently owned and created by locals, us, for locals, you. From recent openings and the latest trends to time-tested traditions and hidden gems, we're here to help you experience the very best that RVA has to offer.
Hi, I'm Paige, RVAX owner and chief marketing officer. I'm the face you see in front of the scenes on Instagram and TikTok, taking you to all the latest and greatest hotspots around town.
And I'm Kelsey, RVAX owner and editor-in-chief, working behind the scenes on your Wednesday and Thursday newsletters, the Weekly Insider and the Weekender, and City Guides.
What's up, Kels?
Hey, Paige, I got a little tripped up in that intro.
It happens.
You know, reading it, you would think that the more you read it, the easier it would become, but sometimes you just get in your head.
It's like a tongue twister.
I know, it kind of is. Maybe, the on-staff writer needs to fix some of these lines. God, I'll speak to her. Anyway, how are you, Paige?
I'm great. We're pre-recording, but technically it's like the week before Christmas.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I mean, I am overwhelmed, so I don't even have to pretend.
Oh, but what are you doing for the holiday? What do you do?
I think that we're going to try to. Thanksgiving was so low key, which I really loved this year. And I kind of want to continue that trend into Christmas as well. Although I feel like it's a little bit trickier to do that because it's like Christmas, in my experience, spreads for a couple of weeks. I feel like when you're trying to see all the families involved.
Sure. Yeah.
So we are planning on seeing my husband's family for the holiday itself and then catching up with mine later in the week, I think. Christmas falls midweek. So it's kind of like
Wednesday.
Sort of easy that way to sort of just make it a long weekend.
Yeah.
That's our general plan. See my in-laws for Christmas, see my family probably later that weekend, and just sort of give gifts, get gifts, and enjoy, and then probably take a nice big nap.
Yeah.
What are your plans?
Ours are a little bit more intense.
So you got travel.
Yeah, we this year Holly's coming home with me for Christmas. We're gonna leave on Monday the 23rd, so we'll get home that evening, not do anything. The 24th, we start the day at Grandma Dobler's. That's my mom's side of the family. Then we go to church. Then we go to my aunt's house on my dad's side of the family, and then sometimes we go to my cousin's after. So it's a long day. And then Christmas, we wake up. I always make mimosas, and my mom always makes an egg casserole, and I make a cinnamon roll casserole.
Oh,
and then
I love
Santa
hearing
comes.
Everybody's food traditions, by the way. That's so cute.
And we still do Santa. Oh, well, Santa's real.
Yeah.
And Santa comes and we open gifts. And then typically my mom hosts Christmas for my mom's side of the family because we usually see the other side of the family on Christmas Eve. But this year my aunt's hosting. I'm kind of upset about it because I love just being home because I don't go home, I go home twice a year. So I like when everybody just comes to our house so I don't have to leave and I can just wear comfy clothes all day.
Right.
But we're going to go to my aunt's, and last year we started the inaugural Reindeer Games. So this is the second annual Reindeer Games, and I go really hard.
What do you do in the Reindeer Games?
Oh, don't you see all those Instagrams or TikToks about all these games that you can play on Christmas?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm out of it. No, tell me more.
Okay. So last year we started it and everybody loved it. Even my grandma, who's 88, 89 years old, was playing with us. And it was so cute because I hate football. I hate sports. And I think the Steelers are playing on Christmas, which is literally going to be the bane of my existence. But
sure.
Pray. So Reindeer Games, it got everybody to stop being in front of the TV and it got everybody to be involved and just play a few games that were fun and festive. You put a blindfold on and I have Christmas bows laid out and you scoop the bows into a bowl, but the bows weigh nothing. So it's really hard to do.
Oh,
so that was one
smart.
of them. Another one was Hungry Hungry Hippo. So you put Solo cups on and you grabbed marshmallows. But my mom nixed that for this year because it got really violent last year.
Yeah, it got a little bit too competitive.
We did the tea light challenge where you put 10 tea lights up and all in a line. And you had a prize at each one. And so however far you blew out the candle was the prize you got.
That I have seen recently.
This year, I want to do, you have Solo cups, you have either a ping pong ball or marshmallow, and you get the little, what are those called that you blow?
Oh,
And
like a party noisemaker?
yeah, and you're gonna try and blow that thing off of the solo cup.
I was thinking as you were saying this, I've done a version of this, I guess. I don't know if we called it Reindeer Games, and it was like years ago. And one I remember is like we had to have like, we put like bells in a tissue box
Okay.
and you strap it to your waist, and then
Yes.
you have to like race to jump and get them out.
Yeah, you have to like twerk and get them out.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. You jump, do whatever you need to do to get these bells out of the box.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like the one we did. You had to have I strung a Christmas bulb to you, and you
Uh-huh.
had to like
Oh,
and get the bulb in the cup.
to gyrate and get it that
Yes,
way. Yeah,
yes.
these family friendly, Paige, for
My
sure.
grandma did it. I was so impressed.
Okay,
Yeah.
reindeer games it is. Wow, it sounds intense then.
Yeah, we had, and like to help entice, like my mom, my aunt, everybody kind of pitched in money, lottery tickets, chocolates, prizes, candy to just like, make it more enticing. We
Okay,
don't
that's so
really
cute.
give gifts anymore in my family, so it was just like a way to just have fun.
Yeah, that sounds really cute. And like you said, a good way to not to focus on like football for the day. I can
It's
understand where it's
Christmas.
like, it's not my favorite. I'm fine with it being on the background, but does it have to be the main focus?
It's Christmas. Why are we watching football?
I don't know. I don't know. But
I
you know
don't
what?
know either.
Some people are really into it, but this is like a nice way to be interactive with your family and friends.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I'm
super cute.
excited for Holly to experience it.
Right.
So yeah, I'm kind of in charge of that, organizing it. As a former teacher,
Right, of
everybody
course.
like just looks to me. I have things all laid out. It's ready to go. So
Yeah. I could understand that for sure. Well, that's going to be so fun. So then after you guys get through Christmas, so that's midweek, and then do you have any other plans for like the latter half of the week?
nope. On Thursday will probably be low key. My dad will probably take down the tree because
Oh, are you guys like that way? You get it down right the day after?
not me, but my family always has a real tree and he's like always itching, like to
Oh,
just remove it. And I get really depressed. I'm like,
yeah,
no.
right. No, I like take mine into January at the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, probably just hopefully I can see some old friends. It's always nice to catch up, but sometimes it's just hard because everybody's doing family stuff. So I understand. And then we'll leave and come back on Friday. So
Okay, nice. And then, enjoy your weekend, I guess, between New Year's Eve and all too, because then we're going right into that.
yeah.
Do you
And
have your New Year's Eve plans also?
yes, we are hanging out at Jarden, of course.
Oh, yeah, obviously. What am I even asking? That
Holly
sounds
already
brilliant.
ordered a Jeroboam.
Oh, okay, perfect. Fantastic way to ring in the new year.
Yeah, and they'll have caviar and stuff for pre-sale, so we'll do that. And I think they're hosting fried chicken and champagne, so
Oh,
we'll literally get there and just be there all night.
and just relax. I love a day like that where it's like, I don't need to go anywhere except this one place, and then I'll be here until, further notice.
Yeah, and last year we walked there. We walk there often from Scott's. It's 2 miles. Like, it's not a big deal for us. So we often walk there, and then like right at 12:01, we call an Uber, and we're home by like 12:05, and we're just in bed.
Nice and cozy. Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
love this time of year. That in between week is kind of controversial because it's sort of like a mess of time, but it's also like nice because it's just sort of, it's the airport, there's no rules here.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice for me. Holly still has to like work, you
Oh
know? Yeah.
my God.
No, but
Okay,
somebody
I
gotta pay the
guess.
bills.
But I mean, like sometimes when you're in the office on those like holiday weeks, you can kind of like, it's low key still, but it's kind of quiet. Sometimes it works out.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll kind of be standing down a little bit.
Yeah, our plan, we're trying to front load a few things and like this podcast, getting a couple of these episodes ready to go so that we're still in your ears mostly throughout the holidays, and then like get some of our city guides up for you so that you've got things to reference if you need different plans around town. But we are kind of like doing what we did around Thanksgiving, taking a little bit of a beat as we, end the year.
And that leads us to some housekeeping. So we
Yes.
are taking next week off for the holiday, but we will be back in your ears on Friday, January 3rd. So
Yes.
for right after New Year's.
I
So
know. So
we hope everybody has a wonderful holiday.
Yes. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. We'll see you on the other side. It's always so emotional this time of year, but in a happy way. It's nice
Yeah.
to close it out again.
All right.
All right.
So we're going to dive into what to eat, drink, see, and do in RVA this week, right before the holiday.
Yes.
So eat, I'm going to say get festive at Helen's. While Helen's isn't an official pop up, it's definitely a spot you won't want to miss this holiday season. They have over the top decorations that will immediately get you in the festive spirit. They always have a lively crowd, fantastic drinks, and it's the perfect spot to get into the holiday groove. And after a night of celebrating, you want to make your way back the next morning because seriously, their brunch is 10 out of 10. I just went last weekend for brunch and it was so good. So you still get like the festive vibe. I mean, at Helen's at night during the holidays is just it's magical.
Yes.
So I encourage you to go at night. But if you can't get in, because I know reservations are wild this time of year, brunch is an okay thing to still check out and scope in the decor and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But Helen's is a cozy family-owned Jen and the Fam. It's serving up comforting Southern dishes. They have scallops to roasted chicken to perfectly cooked steak, and they have just a warm ambiance and friendly service. So I always recommend Helen's for brunch, dinner. It's always just like one of my go-to spots.
Yeah, it's a good mainstay in the city where you'll get like something delicious every single time consistently. I feel like consistency is like the name of the game over there.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes I go in and just get a bunch of their small plates.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so good.
Sort of like taste different things. That's fun
Mhm.
too. But yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely is a cozy little spot and, a classic spot in Richmond, and especially for the holidays. I don't know if they consider themselves an official pop up this time of year, but with the way that they decorate, we include them.
Yeah, I think it's just they've been doing it forever. I think before pop-ups became pop-ups.
Right.
That, they just go all in.
I know. It's the best.
Yeah. I love it.
Enjoy. Well, then what for drink?
Roastology. So grab a coffee. So Roastology just recently moved to Scott's Edition. So while we were sad to see their West Carey Street location close earlier this year, we're excited to what's to come as they open their doors. I know I'm hyped because I live in Scott, so I'm always like, when something new comes, I get so freaking excited.
New
But
neighbors.
yeah, I went to their soft opening. So when I went, they didn't have any of their seasonal sips out, but I think they have dropped some. So I just grabbed a latte. Super cozy spot. You can see them like roasting beans in the back. It's very airy. They have like a garage door situation. So I assume in the summer they'll open that up. It's almost reminiscent to Afterglow for me. Like
Yeah.
their setup where the back is like their coffee roasting and the front is their cafe. They don't have as many seats and they're not serving up their food. They're serving up sugar and twine. So you can still get some yummy pastries and cookies and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, great. Yeah, another classic. I know people were very sad to see them leave their former location and then of course are very psyched they have reopened now. So that's very exciting for your next cup of joe. Good option.
Yeah, and they're right by going to be the new Ballast location.
Exactly.
All right, so what do we have up for C?
Yes, for C this week, we had recommended in a previous episode to get out and see your tacky lights, but we're continuing that trend with some more options in this episode too. As we've mentioned before, Richmond Times-Dispatch publishes an all-inclusive Richmond tacky lights list, and they've put it out for 2024. So you can go through and do a self-guided tour yourself with your own hot cocoa from home or from your coffee shop of choice, and just get out to whichever neighborhood you find delightful. Listen to your Christmas music in the car, hop out of the car, walk around wherever you'd like to, or you can do something like Discover Richmond tours, etc. And I know, Paige, you have some, recommendations in that vein as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can see what there's available, but I've done the big Anderson buses. I've done one with the RVA trolley, which was darling because you're on the little trolley. I've done, like a Richmond limousine situation, RVA tuk tuk. And so there's a whole variety of what you can do. I just went on an RVA Brew Crew one, which was super fun. But yeah, I always recommend just scoping out the list and making your own little route, if you
Choose your
will.
own adventure.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the RTD does put a great list together with some photos so you can kind of see, but like you can't miss like the Pfeiffer Christmas.
Oh,
And that one's on Asbury Court, 9604. That one is, I would say, the most iconic.
okay.
And it used to be two houses. I'm not sure if it's still two houses or one, but that one, like, you get out and you walk and they're selling hot cocoa and you can just like kind of explore everything. So that one's a can't miss one, as well as Wendhurst, I believe. Yep. 9716 Wendhurst Drive. This one is one of my favorites. He hand makes all of his decorations. So this is another one where you would park and get out. He has like mistletoe set up. He has like all these like I spies. So if you take your little kiddos, there are like some I spies where you can like find the little, I
Trinkets
think
and
there's
such.
Grinches and Santas and angels, but it's their 25th year, and the Thompsons at Wendhurst won the Great Christmas Light Fight a few years ago, and they draw record crowds every year. They have 100% homemade decorations, over 2,300 handmade things in his yard.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think they play like music, but they're lit up through New Year's Eve night. But those two, Wendhurst and Asbury Court, are like can't miss ones. They were and the Oregon Christmas House.
Okay.
Those three are like my go-to every year. You have to see them.
And we just put out a reel too of
Yes.
your favorites also, didn't you?
Yes, and there's a few more addresses. Unfortunately, the RVA Christmas House isn't lighting up this year. They had a baby. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So they're taking this year off. So a few folks were getting them confused with the Oregon Christmas House, but they're still up and running, all lit up. And yeah, the RVA house, Christmas house, is taking a little break.
Yeah, taking a break this holiday season. Completely understandable. Yeah. Okay, well then for Do, go see the lights. For Do, I want you to go do the Santa Spot experience. You can skip the crowds with this, the lines, and stress this holiday season and immerse your family in the North Pole at the Santa Spot. Their jolly Santa has a real beard, and he takes time with each of the guests as they enjoy decorating cookies, writing Christmas letters to send to the North Pole, reading a book, having milk and cookies, decorating ornaments, and then more one-on-one time and photos with Santa. Delight in all this and more during your 1 hour interactive experience in a small group setting. Each family receives 2 family portraits with purchase with Santa, taken by the professional photographer on site, along with other goodies and surprises for your little ones. Before departing, each kiddo gets a chance to find their name on the nice list too, of course. As of recording this episode, there are still tickets available for the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. But as we've talked with different experiences around this time, if you're interested, get your name on the list because they all book up so quickly. The family experience is $225. It's good for 2 parents to enter and 2 kids in the same family. And you can also add additional kids if you've got more kids in your family or you want to bring the cousins or family friends. You can add them at an additional cost, and babies 12 months and under are free, but you still add them to your ticket just so that the folks over there know how many people are in your party. This year, it's located at Gate and Crossing Shopping Center in the West End. When I experienced it, I think 2 years ago, it was over in the Libby Mill area.
Yeah.
I know people are a little hesitant with the cost of it, but I will tell you that I feel like the interactiveness and the leisureliness of it, it's worth the price. It's an experience. You get to do so much. The kids get to talk to Santa. You get the pictures with Santa. And as they say in that copy, like, you don't have to like stand in the lines and keep the kids entertained while you wait either. I think it's worth the cost, in my opinion and in my experience.
Yeah. And I mean, if you look at their website, thesantaspot.com, like, there's a video and Santa's like sitting with you making cookies.
Yeah, he walks around, sits and enjoys.
It's not just, standing in line at a mall and, sitting on a
Sitting
Santa's
on the
lap,
lap
it's a
and then
little bit
moving
more.
on.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
No,
it's cute.
I think it's
Yeah.
it's a very smart idea. They've done a great job with it in the past. And like you said, it's nice that he walks around, meets and greets with everybody and takes his time. It's a very cute way to sort of celebrate the season. And that price tag gets in 4 people in your family also to boot. So along with the photograph. So like it might be a little bit more expensive than your typical Santa photograph experience, but it includes a lot. It's like it's an event.
Yeah.
So I
And
recommend.
it
It's
looks
very
so
sweet.
cute.
It's
Yeah.
super cute. They've done such a great job, and I was excited to see them on the calendar again this year. It's a high recommendation from me for sure.
Yeah. Well, that wraps us up. So thanks for listening, Richmond. And by the way, there's more where that came from. Joining the Richmond experience as a member is the best way to stay in the know about what's going on in RVA.
Not to worry, we refuse to sell your info or bombard you with ads, but we do charge a small annual membership fee of $39 a year to fund our team so we can keep doing this awesome work. Plus, a portion of each annual membership purchase for the Richmond experience goes to rotating nonprofits each month. That's like $1 per week to get an all access pass to the best of RVA and lift up local orgs. It's a really, really good deal, friends. And listen, what are friends for anyway? Use code Chatter to get $10 off your first year subscription.
Give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at The Richmond Experience, and on Instagram at The Chatter and RVA too. And if you enjoyed this episode, send it to your buds and rate, review, and subscribe.
And if you want to keep up with each of us, you can find me at Kelsey Hines is Typing on Instagram.
And me, Sips and Trips with Paige on Instagram.
Chat with you next week, RVA, or the week after.